everyone, Amanda here. So I'm back to do some work on my altered book. If you watched the previous video, I explained where I've kind of got inspired from, etc, etc, etc. I'm going to make a playlist, okay? I'll add that as the next suggested video at the end. If you are new, do subscribe. That way you will see all of my uploads and click the notification bell. Any more? I think that's it. I think that's all housekeeping. So we'd got to the stage where I've shown you that I've you know, decided what I'm doing with all of my pages. I've kept it quite minimal and I've not got loads of pages. Maybe as I get more confident at doing these, I'll leave more pages in, but I don't know how fat it's going to be. I tend to make fat journals. So I'm a bit of a, my husband says I'm a feeder. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to start and layer up some pages. So I've got my timer set. I can only do about 30 to 40 minutes at a time. If I do longer videos than that, it takes days nearly to upload, or the last time it did. I can't be doing with it. So I'm going to set my timer now. Hold on. Well, my stopwatch. Was it going to stay on though? Am I going to be able to... Hold on. Start. Let's see if it works, because if the screen goes off, then that's a useless tool. So, I've picked out some papers, and these are ones that are already printed. My aim, it's not always my outcome, but my aim is to only use what I've got already printed. But I'm not sure how I'm going to go. I might have to print some more out, but if I do print some out, I'm going to print out stuff. I hereby, Brownies Honour, swear I won't buy a kit. I'll use what I've got. Famous last words. So I've taken out this collage sheet. I think this was actually, I can't remember if this was a freebie on Artemis or whether it's part of a kit. The Oh So Shabby or something. I'm really bad. I'll have a think and I'll get back to you in 3 to 5 business days. So I've got that. I've got some bits and bobs left over from A Whimsical Adventure. Not much, but a few bits because I used nearly all of that. And then I've got some of the tone on tone ones from the So Shabby kit. But I don't want it to look really... I want it to be quite colourful, I think. But in, you know... soft bright colours, not, you know, I don't do lime green and bright orange. So let's just get cracking and see how we go. So on this first page here, I mean, that's just going to be so simple, and I'm just going to layer up. I'm going to leave that one, and I'll tell you why. No, I'm not. I'm going to do it. I was going to leave it because I wanted to do this pocket with you before we run out of time, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to... just do what I get done. And what I'm also going to do is probably some separate videos on... I'm going to start bulk making ephemera, and I'm going to call it something like... I don't know, I've got like a box, I don't know what I'm going to call it, but I've got a box in my craft room that I try and fill with pre-made ephemera, like little notebooks and, you know, journaling cards or whatever. I want to try and fill that box with stuff. I see other ladies on YouTube with boxes full of them, and I've got envy. I've got ephemera envy. I'm like, I don't think... I mean, I feel like I craft a lot, and I'm always in here, but I don't know, maybe these ladies just don't sleep. Maybe they're up till 4 o'clock every morning, and maybe they get up at, you know, cockcrow. I don't know how they do it. I feel like I craft a lot, but I don't always produce a lot, so I need to work on that, on my batch cooking, as my friend Kay calls it. I've done a rubbish job at that. Let me do it again. Yeah, so we'll have to come up with a name for these, for the series of fill a box. I don't know. I'll come up with something. If you've got any suggestions, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm not measuring anything, okay? A, because I'm lazy, B, because I normally just get it wrong anyway, and C, because I want it to look a little bit, not ratty-tatty, but you know, ooh, look how perfect that is. So I've just taken the edges off those off this A4 page, and it literally is just right to layer inside that page there. So that's perfect. So I want to rip it about there. So I'm going to leave an increment all the way around. That's one thing from like mini albums and card making that I like, how they just leave a little gap all the way around. It kind of like frames your page then. I like that. So that's going to go on there. Yeah. Okay, so let's get some distressing, and I'm just going to use, and I've got my dressing gown on. It's not because I've not got dressed, although some days I don't. It's because I get very, very cold, very, very easy if I'm just sat. And, you know, I keep moving around a lot. I do a lot of housework because I'm a bit of a psycho and I like it. If I'm sat in my craft room, I will get very cold very quickly. So I have my dressing gown on. So yeah, so to keep it simple, I'm going to use vintage photo throughout. I'm not going to say there's an exact theme. I'm going with kind of what I call vintage shabby, which is, you know, with your vintage images, but you've got your incorporation of flowers and pink. And also I've got a lot of things with butterflies, so we're probably going to incorporate flowers, butterflies, you know, floral, shabby, that kind of thing. Right, so just a minute. And also what I'm going to do is, when I'm making my ephemera, I'm going to try and be mindful to use up the pages that I've ripped out. I've got a couple of ideas already. I was having a bit of a play last night. Who were I watching last night? Oh, that's out, is that one? I was watching, is it Rachel 5? She's a mixed media lady from the UK. She doesn't upload anymore. And so every now and again I'll go back and just go back through all the videos because I just love watching her. I think it's Rachel 5, R-A-C-H and then 05. I think she does like sewing. They call it floss tube and all that now, don't they? I think she does that now. I'm gutted. So yeah, I watch her and then I like to think that I can do it, and I can't. I'm rubbish at it. Not very good at mixed media, but I do like it. I like to have a play and get messy. Right, so I'm using Pritt Stick, which I don't like, but I'm waiting. I've bought a batch of Yoo-Hoo. I just, when it's on your hands, it's awful. Right, so give that a press. So that's that first page. Now I may go back and add something on there or put a pocket, but for now that one's done. Right, and then what I'm going to do is attach it to the next one and then layer that, and then just put a punch mark in the top. Keep it really simple for that first one. I might even put like a book plate, this journal, or I'm not sure, but we'll go back. I'm just going to do a couple of pages of basic decorating, and then I'll go back and we'll talk about embellishing. Now we're going to be keeping this very flat, okay, very, very flat indeed. So I'm just gluing that on two sides because I'm going to make a top loading pocket. Okay. So yeah, when you're making your embellishments, think on, we don't want big bulky flowers or like resin pieces or anything like that. It's going to be a case of like paper butterflies or small paper flowers. I won't be putting like massive lace clusters on and stuff like that, and massive snippets, because we're restricted. When you're making a journal from scratch, you're not restricted because you can make your cover to fit your journal. This way round, we've got to make our journal to fit our cover. I mean, you know, mine will end up like that. Like an alligator mouth, they call it, don't they, in America? Like a cave, we'd say in Yorkshire. But I don't want it ridiculous, you know. Am I inking the edge of all the pages? I think if I can see them, then I just will, yeah. It only takes 2 minutes to just, I'm not doing it, you know, fantastically. I'm just literally running the tool just over the edge there. We've only got 26 pages. We can just run the tool over. It's not a problem. Yeah, right. And then I'm going to layer up my other side, and then we'll do the top notch, as it were. So let me put my lid on that before it goes gunky. It does go gunky, and when you get to about there, it starts to go thick. But it's just the best glue ever, so I don't care. I'll do a mend, as they say. Right, so on this one I'm going to do quite a plain, so then you can write on it. So let me just move my book out the way. So can I still see my timer? What are we on? 9 minutes! I haven't even done out yet. So it might be one of those projects where I'll show you a few pages. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do a couple of pages of layering with you and show you how I'm gluing them down. I'm not teaching you out new, it's just a case of you coming along for the ride. Show you how I'm going to do a couple for anybody that doesn't really know what they're doing. And then I'll go away and do the rest of them, and then when we're on to the next stage, then I'll come back. Yeah, I think that'll be good, because I don't need 10 videos of me layering every single page, I don't think. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how quick I progress. I might just do, if I did page by page, you see, that'd be 26 videos. And that's a bit long, isn't it? You'd get bored of seeing it. So I'm just doing that. Right, so bring my book back, and as I say, that just fits perfect. I couldn't imagine that being any easier. I don't know if that's the look of the drawer or if that's the standard size. No, not all books are the same size, are they? So I'll give you a measurement of this book, and then, you know, if you're in a charity shop, just whip out your ruler. I'm only kidding, you're not going to take one, but no, if you've got a stack of books at home, then sometimes it rips it really nice, and sometimes it looks like dogs chewed it, and I don't like it when it does that. Never mind. So let's measure this. Let's measure this book. So it measures. Don't do centimetres, me. It measures. So it's about 5 3/4 from the spine to about 8 1/2. So it's your standard. Yeah, I think that's a standard book size. So the pages are. So the pages are 5 1/4 by 8 1/4. So if you've got a book that size, then you know you're not going to need to be messing about with your pages. They're going to be just about, you know, the right size. Which way around does that go? That way. Okay. And we're not giving up on this project. I read quite a lot of comments from ladies who said they'd done the same as me. They'd tried to make an altered book and given up. So we're not giving up. We're going to keep at it until it's done. So each time, if you're following along and you're, you know, following along, whatever I do the same on yours, or your, you know, not exactly the same. I mean, you know, do your version of it, and then I'll come back maybe every other day until we've done. Yeah, how about that? I'll commit to you if you commit to finishing your project, and that's a big commitment for me because I'm not always the most consistent. I will admit that. Right, so but I'll make that promise to you. I will come every other day. It's obviously meant to be that way, but I just feel like that's upside down. I'll come every other day if you promise to finish your journal. I'm having it that way, I don't care. That's the why am I? What's going on here? Let me just throw that one in the bin because I keep getting the empty one. I keep getting hold of the empty glue stick. Right, so then we are inspiring each other. I've promised you that I'll come every other day until it's done, and so that'll, because sometimes I need encouragement as well to finish projects and to do stuff, and that's why I'm on 3 design teams. I'm on 3. Yeah, that's why I'm on 3 design teams, because it gives me a reason to craft, and it makes me meet a deadline. Otherwise I would sit here and just faff about with bits of paper and not really do anything. So I need structure in my life. So you're helping me to do that. Okay. Just flatten that down a bit. Where's my happy stampers? An American Stampin' Up lady sent me this, and I've kept it ever since, and I look after it. It's my favourite. Is that stuck? I think that needs a bit more glue myself. So we're using Pritt Stick, like I've said before, because if we have too much wet glue on there, then when as you can see, look at that page, it's nice and straight. Can you see? If you used wet glue, it would be wrinkly and buckled, and then you wouldn't like the appearance of it. So that's that. Okay, let me get back in shot. And then I'll use this on small things like pockets and things like that, because if we use this to do our matting, it'll cost us £100 to make a book, because this doesn't last very, so that's why we use a Pritt Stick in conjunction with the other glue. Right, so now I need a thumb notch in the top. Okay, I'm so glad I kept hold of my Stampin' Up circle punchers. I always said that I would never part with them, and I'm glad I didn't. Right, so am I bothered if I'm not too worried if it's not quite in the middle. Alright, I'm not going to stress over it. It don't matter. I just want to sleep tonight. But apart from that, it's fine. Right, so where's my distress tool? Give that a wiggle in there. Okay, now if you don't like that look there, you could just slip it inside the pocket and just punch just the pocket, but I quite like that, because if I put a tag in, I might have a tab or a ribbon hanging out the top there. Okay, so that's one page done. Now there isn't any of you out there that's trying this for the first time that can't do that. Right, that is super simple. Yeah, and we're going to go back and decorate when we've finished all of our pages, because I can't, well, it's up to you. I find it easier to do things in bulk, so do all of my pages, then do all of my tags, then do all of my pockets, yeah, and then, so that's how I work. I wouldn't be able to do one page and then go on and do another, because if I want it to flow, I need to have all my pages right and know what I'm doing. Okay, what number are we on? What are we on? 16 minutes? Are you kidding me? Right, so I'm going to do this page now, and this is where I'm going to use my really decorative piece that's left here on this bit, on the front bit, and then the 2 bits behind I'm going to use plainer. Okay, so I've taken my pip, so I've got 1, 2, 3 pieces to this pocket. Alright, so we're going to do them individual. So, first one here, is that going to fit? That will just about fit. Okay, it wants to be about there. Again, I'm going to just have that small increment, the same as the other one. I do want it to be straight. Okay. I think we'll just about get this done, and then it'll be a new video. So at the end you go away and you layer all of your pockets. So we're going to decorate each bit before we glue it together. Okay, it's just going to make it easier. So that's that there. Now what you could do is rip across there at an angle, or if we just fold it over, and this is, I saw Gail doing this on hers. If you just fold it over, then it's going to help to strengthen that pocket, isn't it? Yeah? It's going to help to strengthen the edge. Okay? So let me just lift that up a bit. It's not quite where I want it. I want it there. Yep. Can't seem to get that quite right. Let me just do it that way because I want an increment there. Okay. Alright. So the fold's there. It's because I was rushing. So take your time. There's no rush. It's not a race. Sound like a school teacher. There's no rush. It's not a race. Oh, yes, there is a rush. I want everything done yesterday, personally. Right, so I'm happy with that now. I've got a bit of an extra crease there that I didn't want, but not to worry. Okay. Alright. I'm faffing a bit because I'm not quite, yeah. I just want a nice increment all the way around. If I'm going to have an increment, I want it to be even and I want it to be kind of straight. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to trim. I'm just going to put that so that it's straight, I think. And then I'm just going to trim a bit off because we don't want loads of bulk. It's not necessary. And then I will just save. Do I need to save that? And I'm not saving that. That can go in the bin. It's not going in the box of shame, in the hard drawer. Right. Ink. 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 And ink. I think if I don't edit my video and I just upload it all in one, it might be quicker. Last time I tried to, you know, I'd edited a video, I'd taken bits out, I'd done this, I'd done that, I'd sped some of it up, and it just took hours and hours to upload. I was getting really frustrated. I couldn't understand why it was taking so long. That's YouTube for you. There's no rhyme or reason to anything anymore. I've noticed that I get notifications of some comments that ladies leave, and then when I go to reply and say thank you for watching, their comments are no longer underneath my video. So I don't know what's going on there. So if I don't reply and say thanks for watching or at least give you a heart, then it's because YouTube won't let me. It's reckoning on like your video's not there, your comments not there when I know very well it is. It's one of my lovely friends, Kay, comments, you know, regular on my videos, and I can't. I had to WhatsApp her the other day and say I can't see, you know, when I go to reply, your comment's not there. And I had another lady who thought that I'd removed one of her comments. I'd never remove a comment unless it was a troll. You know, unless it was somebody being mean. If you've got a different opinion to me, or you've got something to offer or add or a tip, I don't remove comments. Right, so I'm just going to ink that page. I might just go around and make sure it's all down fully with this, you know, just round the edges. Right, so that's that bit. We need to glue that down. So this little triangular flap here, I hope I'm in shot, we're going to glue flat. So that then when we're putting things in and out of the pocket, it's not in the way. Let me just move some of my stuff. Right, so now we need to line this one here. So I'm going to line this with more plainer pages. So let's have a look. I'm going to see if I can use this. So let me just think how I can. I want it to be the right orientation, don't I? That way. Right. Ripping ruler. Where's it gone? Here we go. Okie doke. So. And don't worry, whatever's left over, nothing will be wasted, because we'll use a piece like that to collage when we're making our tags. Okay. Right, so it doesn't need to be any deeper than that. Okay, so I can rip straight across the top of that one. Put your, you know, your spares to one side, and then, so it wants to make sure it's, so basically because your corner's there, it needs to be at least there. Okay, let me just check that you're going to be, yeah, you need it to, you know, when that's shut, you need to still, so when you measure, I'm not explaining myself right good here, am I? When this is shut, you need to make sure that that piece of paper, even though you've cut it short because you don't need all of it, that it's still going to cover the book page, do you know what I mean? So that you've got a nice layered up look, okay? So just think on and double check before you go ripping it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just fold that over there. That's quite difficult because I want it in the same. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to ink that because I want it in such a precise way. I'm just going to ink that bit there. Yeah, and then I'm just going to glue, because that's going to go there. I'm just going to glue this section just to hold it onto my page so that I've got it in position to help me. Okay, so just gluing the top section. Right, so that's in place now, so I know that that's where that should be. So now when I turn it over, I can fold that without being all fingers and thumbs and messing about. That's better. There we go. There we go, perfect. So I'm learning and I'm making this up as I go. I've not done one before, so we're learning together. Right, so let's trim some of that off. Okay, and then we'll glue it down onto the book page, and then we're gluing that corner. Alright, so it might be, it's one of those where the groundwork is going to be maybe a bit of a long process. Alright, but you know, if you're a crafter, I'm not being funny, but that's, you've no else to do, have you? I certainly haven't. I'm semi-retired. I'm 48 and I'm semi-retired. I say semi-retired because I do still work. I do my crafting and I run the house. I just don't get paid for it. Oh dear. I did recently give my job up because I hated it. And my daughter needs me at home, and my husband likes nice teas, and I couldn't do it all. I couldn't do everything and work full time. It was just too much for me. So my husband said I didn't have to if I didn't want to, so here we are. Right, so I need to ink that. Okay, and that top bit there, because you're going to see that. Okay, right, so I just need to make sure the rest of that's glued down, and that's that bit done. And then it's going to be the same process for this one. And we're only layering the top bit because you're not going to see that bit, and it reduces the bulk. Alright, so now I just need a piece for there. And it doesn't need to be anything amazingly, groundbreakingly special. Although, to be fair, it's hard to find one from Artemis that isn't groundbreakingly special. So I'm going to use this tone on tone one. Okay, so let's get the edges torn off. I don't know why I tear off the small bit. I should get hold of the large bit and do it that way. Let's give it a try. See if I can do it that way, because it doesn't make no sense to be trying to rip off a tiny little strip. Yeah, I find it harder to control. I think that's why. But let's give it a try. Yeah, I find it harder to control doing it the other way. So I'll keep doing it the way that I do it, which is that way. Okie dokie. Move that out of the way. Let's bring this in. We're going to measure the width of the page again. So it's repetition. Once you've done one, you know, and you've got a hang of it, all the other pages are going to be, it's going to be more or less the same process, isn't it? You know, just be thoughtful of what you're doing when you come to those layered pockets, you know, so that you've got, so that you're covering up what's going to end up showing, if you know what I mean. I don't like that bit. Get off. Right, so what I mean is, when that page is layered over, you want to make sure you can't still see the plain book paper behind. If that's, unless you want to be able to see the plain book paper, there's nothing wrong with seeing it if that's what you want. But for me, it's not what I want. What I want to see is just this one. So if I go to about there, okay, give it a little rip to remind myself. Get my decal edge ruler, rip it, ink it, stick it. Okay. I think I need a new pad on that. It looks like somebody's been chewing it. I think it's from repeatedly going, I go like that a lot up and down, and I think it's just worn that out. Needs replacing. Okay. And let's just do the top of the page. And the edge. Although you're not going to see it. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Like cleaning your skirting boards behind the sofa. Just because nobody's going to see it doesn't mean you shouldn't clean it. Oh dear, what am I waffling on about? Right, so get this glued on, and then I'm going to leave that for today, and you need to go and do yours. Find some nice paper. You know, if you don't have any digitals, you can use scrapbooking paper, you can use music paper, wrapping paper, paper that you've stamped yourself, anything really. You can even leave a lot of the, like the back, that back there, I could have just left that book page. I didn't have to layer it up if I didn't want to, but I just think that looks really nice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to glue. Okay, so we're gluing on two sides, 1, 2. Okay, just make sure that's all nicely stuck down. Don't know who's messaging me. I'll just put my phone on silent. Because that will, oh, whenever you get a message, it always comes twice, as if to say, you haven't read me. Can you read me, please? I'm like, I've not read you because I'm ignoring it. Right, so up to there. Okay, and again, I'm using this on the book pages because it's only a small amount. I'm going to shut the book and press it. It's only a small amount, and it's stronger than the Pritt stick. Would be no good for gluing a pocket. It wouldn't be strong enough, I don't think. Okay, and that's where we've ripped out our pages, our 7 to 8 pages. Boom, now you can't see it. Okay, what I might just do is just these edges here, I might just go around with some stronger glue just to make sure that they're not catching. But other than that, we're done. Let me just shut my book. And we've layered up 3 pages there, haven't we? Yeah, because that's 1 page, that's 2 page, that's 3 page. So all I need to do on the back of that one now is just, I'll put a plain one on there. So just open and shut each one to make sure, you know, that those are glued on nicely, like that there. Could do with a bit of a trim, I think. Okay, it's protruding ever so slightly, but I'm going to wait till it's dry. And I'll have a look, make sure it's dry, and if it's still protruding when it dries, just on that page there, yeah, just keep doing it like that. And if it's still protruding when it dries, I'll just trim it off, it doesn't matter. Okay, so move it backwards and forwards. Because obviously we're gluing pages together that should be laying flat on top of each other, so it might feel a bit bizarre. Okay, it might need some help laying straight, but we'll get there. Okay, just have some patience. Alright, let's give it a press. Alright, so we've got a top on there. That one there has got a top loading pocket, and this one here has got 2 pockets there, and then we're going to just decorate. Why is that not laying flat? I think it's not laying flat because right, I think it'll be fine once we've got it layered up and it's dry. Okay, it just needs to learn that it's been layered up with papers and just get a memory. There we go. So if you get any that feel like they're a bit bulky or they're not moving, just keep, you know, giving them a press, round and about, moving. They just need the memory of, you know, because they've been changed from what they were, and paper needs telling what to do. So you might just need to open and close. There we go, that's lying perfectly now. So that's it for today. We've waffled on a bit, but go away, decorate the rest of your pages, and I'll see you in, what day is it today? So today is Wednesday. I'll see you again on Friday. Take care. Bye.